last week. So got these at a pretty good price. The landing pad doesn't cost that much anyhow, but I'm just going to go ahead and open this up and take a look at it. So we've got our outer packaging, and there's what the landing pad looks like. It's an orange square. It's got an H in the center, and it has the directions north, west, east, and south. So that way you can use a compass to orient your landing pad. So it's a pretty nice looking landing pad. We'll go ahead and take it out of the box. It's made by STARTRC Drone Landing Pad. Universal apron. It is waterproof. So that was one of the things that I was interested in. And we're just going to go ahead and break the seal here and open this up. And there is probably, I'm guessing, some stakes in here. Let's take a look. Yep, little plastic stakes to hold it down into the ground. There, we'll get in closer. They're just plastic little T stakes. And they give you 4 of those, it looks like. Yep. So these are made of plastic. And that's really all you need. You could also buy some tent stakes if you wanted, if you lose these or what have you, but we'll go ahead and set those to the side. Comes in a nice little package here, looks like. And we'll open this up. And got some paper on there. And put that to the side. Let's open this up, some more paper, and it's got 2 sides to it. One side is more like a, I wouldn't say blaze orange, but it's a bright orange. And it's got the directions on there, east, west, north, and south. And flip it over, and it's the black side, if you don't want to be so bright. And same thing, north, south, east, and west. And if you look, it's got the eyelets here on each corner. So that's where you would use the stakes to stake it into the ground. So I would say that this is probably, the dimensions wise, is 2 foot. So it's like 2 foot by 2 foot at least, or maybe 2 foot high and maybe a little bit wider. The dimensions will be on the Amazon website, so you can go out there and look. But I think this was under $20, so you can't beat it. It's nice and stiff. It folds up, so when you're not using it, and it's almost it's smaller than a piece of copy paper. And copy paper is like 8.5 by 11 inches, so it's great for storage. And it's got a little storage bag here, and we'll just go ahead and put that back in the bag. And then we could also put the stakes in there with it. You could even get yourself your own little bag with a drawstring on it if you want, or you can just put them right back into here, the little box it came in. And just put that right back in here. You don't even have to close this up. Put it in there and pull the drawstring, and it's ready to go on your next flight. So we'll set that to the side, and now we'll open up the drone box. So this is the outer Amazon box. Be careful, I've got my hunting knife, smaller one. Let's open that up. Packing paper in here, and then that's it. So here's the drone box, and this is the drone made by Ruko. This is my very first drone, so they said it would be great for a beginner, and I'm a beginner at flying drones, so saw this, got a really good deal on it. I think it was like 30 to 40% off. And so I decided to buy it. I think it was like 150 bucks or 160 bucks, somewhere around there. So I was like, hey, for a first drone, it had good reviews. Let's watch some videos on YouTube on how to fly it. And this is the Ruko U11 Mini. Looks like pretty solid little drone. You got to look on the outside of the box. This is a drone that is 249 grams, which falls underneath the 5.5 pound drone requirement for registration on the FAA website. So you do not have to register this drone. This is geared more for recreational flyers. And some of the things that I wanted you to know about is, most people probably don't know this. You can't just go fly a drone anywhere without taking a test. And the test is really easy to do. It's designed not to, you really can't fail it. So don't be discouraged by it. But if you go to the FAA's website, the Federal Aviation Administration, they have all the requirements for flying drones in the United States. And a lot of people don't know that you have to get a simple certification through what they call TRUST. It's the Recreational UAS Safety Test. And I think I studied it for about an hour, the information that's on there. And it goes over some basic rule flying when you are using a drone. And the reason for that is, and I can see why they would want you to do that, is because there's helicopters and small airplanes that are flying around in airspace, as well as commercial jetliners. And you want to make sure that you're not going to collide with one of them that could cause serious problems. You could even cause a crash. So you got to be very careful. Just go out there and study it. I think, for basic rule flying is you got to be at or below 400 feet. And so, this drone, they say, can go up to 4 miles away. And another requirement is you want to have the drone in your sight at all times. Even though it has a camera on it, you want to make sure that this drone is where you can see it line of sight. And so go out to the FAA's website. It's under Part 107. There's an exemption to that 107 rule for recreational flyers, and that's if you take that test. And it doesn't cost anything. It's free. You can have it done within an hour, just after reading the information and then taking the test. It's multiple choice, and you keep taking the test until you pass it. And then once you pass it, you'll get the certificate. You just simply download it or print it out, and you can fly recreational drones in the United States. Because by then you'll have some basic knowledge on where you can and cannot fly. UAS stands for Unmanned Aircraft Systems, which that's what drones fall under. I opted to, I'm probably going to go on and get the higher certification, which would allow for you to fly in restricted airspace with approval from the FAA. And so if you're interested in doing that, Class G flying is uncontrolled airspace. And this app that I have on my phone, there's several apps out there. It's called, you can go to Drone Zone, or you can go to LAANC. And what that does is it gives you real-time connection with the FAA to get clearance to go flying. So, a lot of people don't know this. You got to go out there and read up on it. But I'm going to pull up the app that I decided to buy so that I could get clearance to fly, because I don't want to cause any issues or aircraft mishaps. So I decided to buy the Autopilot. It's AUTOPYLOT. You can download it from You can download it from the Play Store, and you can use it. They give you a 7-day free trial, so you can try it out before you actually buy it. And then I think after that, it's like $39.99 for the whole year. So I would rather play it safe. You just simply open up the app, and it can tell where you're located, and it'll tell you whether you fall inside of a Class G, B, C, D, or E airspace. And if you're in Class G, you don't need any permission from the FAA, but I go ahead and check in anyhow. You can simply punch in where you want to be flying, and it'll tell you what kind of airspace you're in. So don't let this discourage you. You're just following a few simple rules. And I really like the app so far. And I've just kind of drove around my neighborhood to see what kind of airspace I'm in. And mine was in Class G, so I could fly. But if you're near any kind of airport, whether it be a regional airport or a main international airport, you're probably in restricted airspace. It doesn't mean that you can't fly in it, but you just need approval from the FAA to fly. And so having any kind of an app that's linked to LAANC and Drone Zone, that will give you immediate clearance to fly. So hopefully this information doesn't scare you away or anything like that. You just need to know the rules to where you're flying and to be safe, and be careful so that you don't cause an aircraft mishap of any sort. But there's a website called Before You Fly. You can go out there and read all about it. It's the letter B, the number 4, and then the letter U, and then FLY. You can go out there and read up on it and learn the rules of flying a drone. And then any drones you fly over 0.55 pounds, they have to be registered with the FAA, and it's $5 per drone. So the sport is, it takes very little money to get involved with it. But like I said, I'm new, and I read up on the rules, and I passed the trust test, so I'm authorized to fly. If you do get stopped by any law enforcement, whether it be local police, county, state, federal, you have to show them that you took that test and that you're certified. And otherwise, I don't know, they could issue you a citation or what have you, or give you a warning and tell you to go ahead and do it. But they're probably going to make you stop flying. And so just be mindful of that. It's not a hard test. It's very easy, and just go do it. It'll help you with your knowledge on where you can and cannot fly and what the rules are. So I'm excited. This is my drone. Let's just look on the outside of the box. It says it's 249 grams. So you don't have to register this drone with the FAA in the United States. It's got 4K video. It's got 3 modes of speed, and it's got optical flow stable technology for the camera. So that's going to keep it level and steady so that you don't have wavy video footage. And so it's probably built-in technology for that. So, and once again, it's made by Ruko. Very affordable. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. I'm excited. There is an app, it looks like, for it. It's the Ruko U11. It has the barcodes that you can scan right here to make sure that you download the correct app. You got one for Androids, and one for Apple iPhones. It says ages 14 plus and up. So, a kid even younger could probably fly it. So let's take off the cellophane and get this thing opened up. You've got all this other stuff on the back. You can read it. I'm not going to bother doing it. I'm just going to get right into this. Hopefully I didn't talk too much already, but we'll get this cellophane taken off of here. The box feels nice and sturdy. Good box. And let's go ahead and take off this. And it looks like there's some tape here, so you got to break the seal. And don't cut yourself. You know, I've been known to, in my haste, nick myself here and there. So there we go. So let's get this thing opened up and let's pull this out. That's all there is. It comes in this nice package. It's like almost like a Ziploc bag, and it's you just slide the zipper open, and then let's take this out. And feels like a really nice suitcase, actually. It's got a zipper all the way around it, Ruko on the outside. And let's just open this up. I'm gonna put this to the side here. And I'm sitting here at my kitchen table. Nice little suitcase. Let's open this up. It looks like inside here there's a zipper pouch in the top cover, and looks like the manual's in here. The U11 Mini. And this has 4 rotors on it. From the picture, I would say all drones pretty much have 4 rotors. And one looks like the quick safety guide. So you can see that. Quick guide and safety disclaimer, and then here's your user manual. So you can thumb through that on how you can get started. I've been watching some videos, so I kind of have an idea what all this does and kind of how to operate the drone just by watching those videos. And here's a template card. This goes on your controller. So you would just simply lie this over your controller here. Let's take the controller out. This feels nice and heavy, solid. It's not cheap feeling. And then here's a little plastic cover. Oops. We'll leave that be right now, but there's like a little cellophane over the top of this to keep it from getting scratched up. So the controller feels nice and heavy. Down here is your flying sticks. You take each one of those out and you just screw them in. And so let's get those screwed in. And then you have your mode setting here. You got cinema, normal, or sport. So I think that's for your speed of the drone. I'm just going to leave mine on normal. You got your power on and off button here. And then you got your return to home button here for the drone. If you kind of lose sight of your drone or you don't know where it's at, just hit that button on the left. This one right here, and the drone will come back and find you using global positioning satellite. So I think over here there's 2 buttons on the side. This template will tell you what they do. One is the GPS. If you turn off your GPS on or off, you would hit that button. And this other one over here is your gimbal button. So your gimbal, I'll show you. Let's take this drone out. And here's some plastic on here. We'll just take that plastic off. Make sure you do that so that it doesn't interfere with any of the communications. But take that plastic off. Here is your battery on the back side. There's a button. And so here's one battery. And I believe it came with 2 more batteries. So 1, 2. So we've got a total of 3 batteries that came with this. Very nice. So you want to make sure you have these charged up when you go flying so you can swap these out. And the battery just simply locks in place. You want to look on the top here. There's your contacts, your electronic contacts for battery power. You just push it in until it clicks. You'll hear it. And then to remove it, there's a button down here in the bottom that you simply just push up and then you pull your battery out. So we'll go ahead and pop that back in. And then there's a cover on the front. This protects your gimbal, which is your camera. So you want to go ahead and pop that off when you get ready to fly. It's just a plastic cover. And then here's your camera right here. And so this camera will turn left, right, up, and down. And you can take 4K video with that, and you can do still photos as well. So we're going to pull these flying arms out. And there is a way to do it. You fold in, when you close it up, you have to do it to where they will catch, and you'll just know, but you do the top one first, and then pull the bottom one out, and then you do that for both sides. And then, oh, see, this is catching here, so we got to push this one back in and pull this one back out. There we go. You'll just intuitively know which one. And then one other thing I wanted to show you on this, there is a memory card slot right here. This is where you would put in your memory card for storage. And down here is a photo eye of some sort where it can tell what altitude the drone is at. And so that is on the bottom of the drone. And then it's got some writing here on the side that, yeah, I think it's just indicating that that's where you would put the storage card in. So that's really all there is to it. I'm gonna get a storage card for this, a little SD card, mini SD, and put it in the drone, and then we should be ready to fly. And so let's just take this out, and then let's open these up and make sure these are additional batteries. And then, oh wait, no, it's not an addition. There's not 2 batteries. These are cables. So let's open these up and see what we're gonna get. I think on the Ruko, this is the U11 Mini. They also sell a U11 Mini 4K, and that one comes with the extra battery. So that's why I was thinking these were batteries, but these are extra propellers, and it looks like I dropped a couple. I'll have to pick one up off the floor, but these are just plastic propellers, replacement in case you break some along the way, and that's kind of nice. And they do sell parts on the internet for these, so if you're missing some parts, you can always get replacement parts. Here's a little screwdriver they give you to use to replace these blades right here on the drone. So nice little screwdriver. Let's see what else we got. We got some extra screws, and I don't want to lose any of these screws, so be careful when you open this up so you don't lose any of them. But I've got extra screws down here. These are super tiny, so it'd be really easy to lose. So you might want to get a little Ziploc bag, sandwich bag that has a seal on it, and put all these in there. And it looks like they have some extra sticks, controller sticks, in case you lose one in the grass or something. You shouldn't have to take them off unless you want to, but it's nice that they gave you some extra sticks. And then of course you got to have some extra cables here for charging, well, not charging, but more or less communicating from your phone or your Android or your iPhone. These are the adapter cables that would allow you to plug one end into the drone and the other one goes into your phone. So they give you, here's a lightning cable connector and then a USB-C connector on the other end. And then this one is USB-C to USB-C, so that would be for the Androids. And very nice that they did that. I'm gonna put these pieces over here. Here's another blade. And they do have paint on these blades, so that would be your top. So when you're replacing one of these, just make sure that the painted side is up. There's a little tip that's painted. And then here's your cap, don't lose that. And then let's open this one up. This should be a battery. Yep, that's a battery. So here's a battery. You want to make sure that before you go out flying that this is charged up. There is a USB-C slot right here to charge your battery up. Make sure you charge this up fully so you have it on the ready for when you go out. And the same thing for the one that's in the drone right now. You got to make sure that's charged up. And then one other thing you want to do is the controller itself has to be charged up. And there's a USB-C port right here on the bottom front of it. So you got to plug this in to charge it up as well. And all of this is in the manual. And then the other buttons are the one up here. One is kind of like if you ever played on a gaming station. There's this here. If you press and hold for 3 seconds, it'll start the video. If you just tap once, it'll take a picture. That's the right one. If you're holding the drone controller and it's facing you, that's the button on the right bottom. And then this one over here, I believe, is your gimbal. You can turn your gimbal this way. It goes up and down. So you can adjust your gimbal. It's like a rotary dial here. You just slide that and you'll be able to see what it's doing because you're going to be monitoring on your phone. So your phone, you'll have the app open and you'll be able to see what it's doing through your phone. So that's your controller in a nutshell. It's very heavy, it feels durable. You got your template that tells you how to fly. And you got up and down, left and right, fly forward, fly backwards, fly to the left, fly to the right. And then it tells you what the different modes do. You got high speed, medium speed, and low speed. So cinematic is low speed, normal is medium speed, and sport is high speed. And then you got your GPS switch where you turn it on or off. And then you've got your gimbal. It goes back to central and down if you hit this button over here. So pretty simple. Things I wanted to show you is on the controller itself, what you do is you want to pull this out. And underneath it, you will see 2 cables right here. There's 2 that are plugged in. There's one, let's pull these out. One stays plugged into here. There's 2 USB-C ports right here, and you need to plug one of those in. And then if you needed to swap this cable out, those are the ones that are provided. So hopefully you can see that. There's 2 USB-C ports down in here, and you need to make sure one end is plugged in there, and then the other one goes into your phone. And I have an Android, so you just simply take your phone. And what I like to do is take the case. I've got a plastic case on mine to protect it. So I take that outer case off, and then I'm gonna put it in here like so. And then here's the USB-C port on my phone. You just simply take this cable and plug it in to the bottom of your phone, and then you can use your phone and pull up the app. So I've got to get in my phone, and let's see here. Once I get into it, I've got a passcode on mine, so I got to get in there and then open your phone up, and then you're going to open the Ruko app, and I've got another app that's trying to open here. I want to close all. Okay, so we're in, and I've downloaded the app. It's the Ruko U11. So we're going to open up that app, and there's what it looks like. And then you've got to choose in the upper right hand corner whether you got the U11 Mini or the U11 Mini 4K. And this is, even though it's a 4K camera, it's not labeled as that, but it is a 4K. So I choose the U11 Mini. And then I don't know if, I mean, it should make a difference if they have two options. So then you hit controls, and then it's going to take you through like a tutorial. You can either click start to listen to the tutorial, or you can skip through it. And there's 3 tutorials, and then you hit go, and then it brings you into the app. And one of the things I want each of you to do is go through your menus to see what they do. You'll see menus across the top are little smart icons, and each one of these does something a little different. There's also a menu, sub-menu, the 3 dots in the top right, and you can adjust those. One is beginner mode, which is turned on. So if you've never flown before, which I really haven't, I'm going to leave it in beginner mode, but once I get more familiar with the drone itself, I'll turn that off, and then you can adjust these slide bars. So what that does is you can adjust the height that you would fly to. Right now everything is set at 30, 30, and 20. So return altitude is 20 feet off the deck or ground. Flight height is set to 30 feet max. And then the flight distance is set to 30 meters. So this app is set up for metric. I do believe you can go in there and change it to the standard system, but there's 3.28 feet in 1 meter. So if that gives you any idea, you can do a quick calibration in your head. And then here's your calibration controls for the drone itself. I was talking about in my video earlier. That's how you would just click that for the gyroscope, and then you also have one for the compass. So there's a gyroscope and compass built into your drone. This is how you would calibrate it. You would simply click on calibrate, and then you go through and do what I mentioned earlier in the video. So, and then you can go back. Then you've got your takeoff. So you can either take off with the controls by going to 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock, and the drone will lift off, and you're flying it manually that way, or there's a button in here in the top left. It's got an arrow pointing up. You can just hit that, and the drone will take off and hover, and then from there you can control it with the sticks. And then you also have a return to home button on here as well. You can use it through the app, or you can do it on the controller itself. There's a button right here in the bottom left. And then over here is your camera settings, your record button, and then you've got your GPS in the top right here. You want to make sure that's green, and you've got all bars that are showing green. And then you got your battery level indicator, and then you've got there's one here with a picture of the drone itself. I'm not familiar with what that does. I'd have to read up on it, but those are all your basic controls. You got a little compass down here in the bottom left, and so yeah, if you turn your controller, it tells you what direction is north, south, east, and west, and it will move. So just play around with it, and it's really intuitive. You can figure it out. It also has a scale down on the bottom. You've got your height, your distance, and 2 other settings down here, indicators. That's kind of like your dashboard, like you would have in a car or something. These tell you what's happening with the drone itself. So looking forward to flying this, and you know, it's pretty simple setup, and then you're going to be able to view everything. If you got the camera going, you're going to see everything right here on your smartphone. It's just going to show right up in your display here. So wanted to point that out. This is a beginner model drone, so if you're looking for a beginner model drone, this would be a good solution, and that way if on accident you lose it or something, you're not out too much money. It's a drone that's under $200, so to some people that might be a lot of money, but in the world of drones, that's kind of a beginner model. So let's see, put our cables back here. We do have one more bag that I didn't open. Let's open that up. These are your charging cables. So they give you 2 of these. So one thing it looks like is they didn't give you the actual power block, but they did give you the cables. So this is a USB-A to USB-C cable. This USB-A is what you're used to plugging into your power pack. I think it's like 1 amp, and I can't remember how many watts. So I think the standard is just a 1 amp, but so like any of those that you would use to charge your phone would work to charge the drone. You can consult the manual, but just read up on it if you want. But they give you 2 of these charging cables. You could really use any cable as long as it has the USB-C on one end and the USB-A on the other. So pretty nice. And of course, you can put all these cables in a, you can get a Ziploc sandwich bag or a Ziploc storage bag, and you can put all your cables in that bag and then tuck it into the top part of this carrying case that they provide. And that way you can zip it all up and you won't lose anything. And so I think just doing this quick review, hopefully you got something out of this video. My next step would be to actually fly this now. I've got to charge the batteries up. I've got to charge up the controller itself, and then I'll be ready to fly. So one of the things that I didn't know if I got any close-up footage of the actual camera. This is your 4K video camera. This is the gimbal. And one of the things you will have to do with your drone before you fly it is you need to do you got to sync it up to where you're, that's not quite the word that I'm looking for. You've got to go through where you've got to train your drone. You got to turn it this way, and then you got to turn it this way so it orients itself to the ground. And so make sure you go through that. That's in the manual. I can't think of the word right now what they do, but calibration is the word. Just came to me. So you got to calibrate your drone. It's real easy. Once you got the app turned on, you've selected the right drone, and you go into it. There's even some demo videos that come up when you first start the app. You could go through those, but after a while you don't need them, so you just skip through them. But that's what you would do to calibrate your drone, is you just simply twist it for 3 seconds this way, and then twist it 3 seconds this way, and then you're ready to fly. And so that's where my landing pad's going to come in. You could also put it on concrete as a starting plate where it can start up, as long as it's going to clear the rotors, or the blades are going to clear whatever foreign object might be there. Like if it's sitting in the grass, it's going to have a problem. So you want to make sure that it's on a hard surface. That's why I bought this, in case I have to fly out in the grass. But if you're like near concrete or a sidewalk or something like that, you can use that to take off from as well. But that's it in a nutshell. I'm not going to fly it today because I got to charge everything up, but hopefully you got something out of this video, and I'm looking forward to flying this thing and to do more videos for you. So hope everybody enjoyed this, and if you liked it, please give me a like. Hit the subscription bell, or not the bell, but please subscribe to my channel. And then if you want to be informed of any future videos, hit that notification bell in the upper right hand corner. Once again, thank you for watching. Hope you have a great evening. Take care.